Hello students, so in today's session we are going to see that valency bond theory. So in previous class we have completed Whisper theory, that is valency shell electron pair repulsion theory. So after that the valency bond theory. So it was mainly proposed by Hitler and London. Okay, these are the two scientists who had proposed this theory, valency bond theory. They are Hitler and London, to explain the covalent bond formation. What they are going to explain? They are going to explain the formation of covalent bond. And next, it was extended by Pauling, Linnaeus Pauling, and another scientist later, to explain the directional nature of this covalent bond. Directional nature. So here the main postulates, if we see, or what are the conditions required for the formation of covalent bond is, first one, overlapping of half-filled orbitals. So listen children, only valency shell electrons are used for sharing in covalent bond formation, that we already know. In the formation of covalent bond we use only valency shell electron, that too they will share, isn't it? So atomic orbitals with unpaired electrons involved in bond formation. What they should have? They should have atomic orbitals with unpaired electrons in bond formation. What is the first point children? Valency. Okay, valency shell electrons are used. Okay, valency shell electrons are used in the formation of covalent bond. And the second point is atomic orbitals. Okay, atomic orbitals with unpaired electrons. Atomic orbitals with unpaired electrons are involved in bond formation. So here covalent bond is formed by the overlapping of atomic orbitals. What is the third condition it requires? Overlapping. Okay, overlapping of half-filled orbitals. Half-filled orbitals. Okay, so here the covalent bond is formed by overlapping of atomic orbitals of valency shell of the two atoms. So which orbitals? We have to use that valency shell. Okay, valency shell. So the overlapping of half-filled orbitals, that two valency shell electrons only we are going to use. So as a result of overlapping, the electron density of shared electron pair is present mostly on the internuclear axis. They will be present mostly on the internuclear axis. And fourth condition what it requires is, the electrons which are going to involve in the formation of this atomic means in this covalent bond, they should have opposite spin. They should have opposite spin. For example, atom 1, okay, first atom, if it is having spin like this, another atom, the electron should be in opposite direction. Understand? The spin of the electrons involved in bonding will reorient to give a net spin of 0 for the bonded electron pair. Okay, so here the fourth condition is the overlapping orbitals whatever involving, they should have the electron, they should have opposite spin. Why only one electron? Because we already said they should have unpaired electrons. They should have unpaired electrons. So this unpaired electron, that should be in opposite spin. Understand children? So here fifth point, bonded electron pairs. So here these two electrons form a bond, okay, to form a bonded electron pairs. Understand? These two electrons will combine to give a bond which are known as bonded electron pairs. So the strength of the covalent bond depends on the extent of overlapping. The strength the strength of the covalent bond depends on the extent of overlapping. Greater the extent of overlapping, the greater is the strength of the bond. If you see the strength of bond, see, look at here, 6 point, SS overlapping is more greater than sp overlapping. sp overlapping have greater than pp overlapping. Understand, children? So the strength of the covalent bond depends on the extent of overlapping. Greater the extent of overlapping, greater is the strength of the bond. So ss overlapping, when two s orbitals are overlapping, they are having more strong bond than sp. This sp having more stronger bond than pp orbitals. Understand? I hope these are the I think you have understand this. What is that? They should have valence shell electrons. Atomic orbitals with unpaired electrons only will form the bond. Overlapping of half filled orbitals, that too valence shell. The valence shell which is containing unpaired electron, okay, they will be overlap, and the electrons which are involved in should be have opposite spin between the two atoms. So when these two electrons are combined, they form a bond, that is a strong bond will be formed. The next one, the strength of the covalent bond. If we see the order of, okay, if we see the order of extent of overlapping, that is ss orbital having more strength than sp. sp is having more strength than pp orbitals. So these are the some of the conditions which required for valency bond theory. Next, atomic orbitals undergo two different types of overlapping. Atomic orbitals undergo two different types of overlapping. It undergoes two different types of overlapping. First one is head-on overlapping. Head-on overlapping, which is also called axial overlapping. That is, this overlapping will be happen along the nuclear axis, internuclear axis. That I am going to explain. And the second one is lateral overlapping. Lateral overlapping, or this is also called as sidewise overlapping. Sidewise overlapping. Understand, children? So atomic orbitals undergo two different types of overlapping. That is, first one head-on overlapping, and the second one is lateral overlapping. So a head-on overlapping is also called as axial overlapping, and lateral overlapping is also called sidewise overlapping. Understand, children? So here in head-on overlapping, the bond which is formed is called sigma bond. Okay, in head-on overlapping, whatever bond is formed, that bond is called sigma bond. What it is called? Sigma bond. And in a lateral overlapping or sideways overlapping, the bond which is formed is pi bond. What it is called? Pi bond. So here both sigma bond and pi bond were formed by sharing of electrons only, because we are talking about covalent bond. So in covalent bond, sharing of electrons will take place, isn't it? But the strength of the bond formed are not equal, because the extent of overlapping and the direction of overlapping are not same. Understand, children? So here whatever bonds, either sigma bond or pi bond, they both were formed by sharing of electrons only. But the strength, if you see the strength of the bonds formed are not equal. They are not equal because the extent of overlapping and the direction of overlapping are not same. Here the sigma bond is more stronger than pi bond. What? Sigma bond is more stronger than pi bond. And another thing you have to remember is sigma bond is more stronger than pi bond. So when if we see the sigma bond, I am going to take first one, sigma bond. Okay, sigma bond, if we see the overlapping, SS type overlapping, second one SP overlapping, and PP overlapping. So how the orbitals are undergoing overlapping, by taking one example, I am going to explain this SS, SP and PP overlapping. Okay, first one I am going to take SS overlapping. SS overlapping. Example I am taking H2 molecule. Okay, in H2 molecule we already know what is the atomic number of hydrogen, children? 1. What is its electronic configuration? 1s1, isn't it? So here I am taking 2 hydrogen atoms and their orbitals are like this. This is nucleus. Yes. So each of the 1s means when the electron is present, the electron will be enter into s orbital. So both were s orbital. So this one is also s orbital. Understand, children? So here take this one as hydrogen 1, this one is hydrogen 2. We are taking 2 hydrogen atoms which are having s orbitals, means atomic orbital is s, here also s. So where the electron will be present? The electron will be present here. Understand, children? So these 2 atomic orbitals are undergoing a overlapping. So both undergo head-on overlapping. Why head-on overlapping? So both the electrons are here, so they undergo was along the nuclear axis. Okay, the overlapping will be happen along the nuclear axis. So when it happens, so how the intermixing of orbitals will be happen means, so here the electron will be present. Okay, the bond, whatever bond formed between this sharing of these electrons is sigma bond. Understand, children? You can write like this or you can draw the structure like this. The sharing of electrons, here also the bond is a sigma bond. Okay, it contains a single covalent bond. How many bonds formed? I said already, between 2 electrons only one bond will be formed. So how many bonds are formed? It formed only single bond, that too single covalent bond. So this is called SS overlapping in case of H2 molecule. If we see SP overlapping, SP overlapping, example HF molecule. Example I have taken HF molecule. So again the hydrogen atomic number is 1 and electronic configuration is 1s1, and fluorine atomic number is 9 and its electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p5, isn't it? So here 5 electrons are there. So we have learned we require only in the atomic orbital should have unpaired electrons. So here how many unpaired electrons are there? We have to see first. So draw for p orbital. Yes. So p orbital, how many electrons are present? 5 electrons. So how you have to fill? First you have to fill like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how many unpaired electrons are there, children? Here only one unpaired electron. If you see, this one is 2px, 2py, 2pz orbitals. So 2pz orbital contains only one unpaired electron which is undergoing an overlapping with s orbital of hydrogen atom. So if you see their structure, so look at here. This is the structure of hydrogen atom. So what is the orbital? This is s orbital. Okay, combines with where the electron is present, children? The electron is present along the z axis, that is only one electron is present along the z axis. So what is the structure? What is the shape of the p orbital? Dumbbell shape. So dumbbell shape is like this. So here this electron is here. This one is the center of the nucleus. This is for hydrogen. This is for fluorine. Isn't it? So how the intermixing will be happen? How the intermixing? So which orbital it is? It is p orbital. Isn't it? So here s orbital of hydrogen, p orbital of a fluorine undergo intermixing, okay, or overlapping. Here hydrogen and Okay, here two electrons are present which form a single bond, that is to sigma bond. So here hydrogen, fluorine, between this one bond is formed, that too a sigma bond is formed. So here also same, they undergo, the s orbital and p orbital undergo head on overlapping or along the nuclear axis. Okay, the head on overlapping will be happen along the nuclear axis. Understand children? So this is called sp overlapping in case of HF molecule. And the next one, pp overlapping. So look at here, in pp overlapping I am taking example F2 molecule. So we know that fluorine atomic number is 9, electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. So for 5, how many unpaired electrons are there? We have to find again, draw the p orbital and arrange the electrons in the orbitals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Isn't it? Here also how many unpaired electrons are present? Only one unpaired electron, that too in 2pz orbital. This one is 2px, this one is 2py. Understand children? So along the z axis, the 2pz orbital for one fluorine atom overlaps with the 2pz orbital of the another fluorine atom. So how the overlapping will take place means, p orbital means dumbbell shaped, isn't it? So here nucleus is present, combines with, this is one fluorine atom, that to 2pz orbital, and here another fluorine atom, this is also fluorine, and here also 2pz orbital. So here what type of overlapping is going to take place children? So here also head on overlapping along the nuclear axis, isn't it? Along the nuclear axis. Here one electron is present, here one electron is present. So what it will form? It will form, the structure will be, so another will be like this. Understand children? From here one, one bond will be formed. These are the nucleus of the p orbitals. Yes. So what type of bond formed here children? Sigma bond is formed between two fluorine atoms. Understand? So this is called pp overlapping in case of F2 molecule. So first you have to remember here is, so whatever bonds are formed between any atom, the first bond will be sigma bond. Without sigma bond, pi bond will not be formed, isn't it? So without the formation of sigma bond, pi bond cannot be formed. Why? Because whatever bond is formed between any atom, the first bond will be sigma bond. So we are going to see the pi bond now. Second one, what type of bond? Pi bond. So here what you have to remember, without the formation of sigma bond, pi bond will not be formed. So here example I am taking O2 molecule. O2 molecule. Understand? So first what we have to do, we have to write their atomic number and electronic configuration. Atomic number of oxygen is 8 and electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. So what we have to do children, how many unpaired electrons are there, we have to find first. So in p orbital, okay, so how many electrons are present? 4. So arrange the 4 electrons, 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many unpaired electrons are present children? 2 unpaired electrons are present, isn't it? That too in 2py, 2pz. 2 unpaired electrons are present in 2py, 2pz, isn't it? So we know the structures of the shape of an p orbital. What is the shape? Shape is dumbbell shaped, isn't it? If we see the structure, how the atomic orbitals, this is 2pz. Next, 2px, dumbbell shaped. Okay, draw it properly. This is 2px. So 2px, it is completely filled, isn't it? It is completely filled with 2 electrons. So share this 2px to avoid confusion. Understand, children? And the next one is 2py orbital. It will be like this, dumbbell shaped. This one is 2py. So here, along the axis 2pz, it contains 1 electron. Along the y-axis, it have only 1 electron. Understand, children? So this will be combined with another p orbital of oxygen. So look at here, another p orbital. This is for oxygen 1, this is for oxygen 2. So here 2 p orbitals, both were p orbitals only. Understand? So here p orbital overlaps with the p orbital of another oxygen molecule. So how the structure will be? Look at here, children. First z axis, yes. Next x axis, and next y axis. Understand? So here these 2 electrons were occupied this place, that is why I am shading this part. And so one pair of electron means from pz, 1 electron from one atom and another electron from another atom were joined to form a what kind of bond? It formed sigma bond. First sigma bond is formed, and next 2py, in py also, this one is py, this one is py. Here also unpaired electrons are present, so here also bond will be formed. This bond is called pi bond. Understand, children? So 2pz, along the axis 2pz undergo head-on overlapping, and 2py undergo lateral overlapping to form a pi bond. Understand? If you get clear cut means how this 2py how they are overlapping means, so look at here. So look at here, this one is 2py orbital, this one is also 2py orbital. Along the lateral means the sidewise overlapping will be happen, isn't it? So if we see the structure, it will be like this. Understand, children? So here overlapping will be happen, that is why I shaded this part. So this is lateral overlapping. Understand? Lateral overlapping. So by this, what did you understand? In oxygen, how many bonds are formed? One is sigma bond, another one is pi bond. That is why oxygen will be having double bond with the other oxygen. The first bond which is formed is sigma bond, another bond what it is formed is pi bond. I hope you understand clearly the valency bond theory. Understand? Valency bond theory, first it was given by Hitler and London. They said they explained covalent bond formation and was extended by Pauling and Slater to explain its directional nature. So these are the postulates, means whatever conditions you can say. Okay, these are the conditions, and how many types of atomic orbitals and what type of bonds it is formed. In sigma bond how many types, and in pi bond also we have seen. So that's all for today's class. In the next class we are going to see that hybridization. Okay children, thank you.